Hello, friends. May this season bring you peace and love and all the things that your heart longs for. This time, as I don't need to tell you, is very intense out in the world. There is a lot going on. And my invitation is that we really are here now to hold the presence, to hold the stillness, not holding it, but we lean back into that. We make that our abiding place or our resting place, a place of reference. What we're going into in the new year, nobody knows, but there are a lot of signs out there that things are not all that good. Um, I mean, we have been right up against the Third World War for a while now. They've been talking about it, and who knows if it's going to happen or not. But I think what I really want to say around all of this that there are so many distractions, and the news is pulling us in all kind of directions to keep us afraid, to keep us distracted, to keep us feeling separate and powerless. And when we feel afraid and powerless and alone, there is a tendency to do what any authority tells us to do in order to stay safe. We have heard this term, it's for your own safety. We're doing it to keep you safe. I mean, that may all be well, but and who knows if it's true. It does not resonate with me. I'm not seeing more safety anywhere. So that's why we need to start pulling on our inner authority. We need to start trusting our inner wisdom, our inner knowing, and our inner longing. The longing in my book is the mouthpiece of the divine, kind of knocking on the door, trying to make us aware of what I call upcoming attractions. When you see upcoming attractions, I don't know whether to show them maybe on social media or for sure in the movie theaters, maybe on TV. I don't have a TV. Um, it's kind of like, oh, I that looks interesting. I want to go and see that movie. And then you go, right? Because there was something in you that felt like interested. So that's how I want to talk about that inner longing, that it really is an invitation for the upcoming attractions. So we need to go to the movie in here and learn more about it. It's like, oh, that feels really good. You know, I can sense like and then we start tuning into that field, like I've talked about a lot. And then the field starts informing us more of what this longing is. So you feel your longing, you make it yourself available for that. And that to me is make myself available for the divine. Instead of going out there and being afraid and talking about all the terrible things that are going on and really moving out from our center, um, I think it's a much better idea to let this feeling of longing of something much better than the fear that we are being programmed to engage in. If it feels like it's like the longing when you really go into that, and it is really something that that's very alive in me. It's kind of opening up a portal so that this new energy, this new frequency, this new earth that is here already, but it needs us to make it express itself or make itself available or visible, but it's hard to put words on it because it's not really the senses, but there is something. And the more we do that, the more we bring our attention to this energy that is felt here. And from here, it's like this whole aperture opens up. And this, we can call it light coming in. This starts spreading out, and then the outer is slowly going to be dissolved, dismantled, whatever, because the light starts penetrating it all. But if we do not connect with this in here and we are busy out there, talking about it and, taking sides and pointing fingers, all these things that we have been programmed to do to stay separate, we miss the core, the ground, the foundation of what is needed to bring this, to lift it to a higher frequency or to bring it all home. But we are the ones that need to be that aperture, that opening for that to come in and through and really fill us, because it feels wonderful. And one of the things that I have done for a long time, and I think I have shared it here too, if there's too much craziness going on, I'm honestly not too involved in the world. I do keep, I do read op-ed and listen to my preferred channels and journalists to kind of stay attuned to what is going on. But generally, I don't have much of an emotional attachment to anything. So it is easy for me just to come back here and make myself available for that. Now, if I do get caught in something and I start feeling emotional disturbance, or it could just be some layers in myself, that have not been brought all the way home yet, that are still feeling separate from who I am. If I start getting too lost in that, then there's always a little light in me that says, Pernilla, what is it that you really want? And it's like instantly, it's like, oh, right. And then I can go back here or wherever that lives in my body, that sweetness, that sweet sensation of the longing. I can go right back there. And it's just such a wonderful gift, actually, to just know that it takes us right there, but it takes my attention. It takes my willingness. It takes me connecting with the longing that keeps, knocking on the door. And then I need to keep opening it up in case I keep closing it. And we will do that for a while because it's a new way of being. We run on the old energy and we are filled with it, and our neural pathways are totally programmed to go that old way. So it does take some effort to say, oh, wait a minute, no, that's not for me. And then it's like, what is for me? Oh, yeah, that's right. I want to be that portal for the divine. Let me feel into that. Feel the stillness. Feel the sweetness. Feel the love. However it shows up for each one of us. There's no right or wrong in this, right? And then just stay there. And as soon as we do that, the very second we do that, boom, we're right in the portal as we are the portal. And then this kind of it doesn't have that pull on us anymore. And eventually more and more, the stillness, the presence, the sweetness simply takes over. I think it's also a nice thing to do right now around the holidays. Many of you may be with your family or friends or whatever, however you celebrate it. And if there is a lot of talking about what's going on in the world and people get upset with each other or upset with what's going on in the world, they may be afraid. And then you can really get into these conversations where you get totally lost in it. And there's going to be a lot of fear and maybe grief or whatever. That is not helpful. I know that for many people, it cannot be avoided because the emotional attachments are so strong that they don't really have that presence, that sense of presence to let go for a moment. That's the work that I've been sharing a lot here for a long time. So that's a muscle that we start training to go, oh no, 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 not for me. Not bypassing, but just allowing the energy to just move through and dissolve. So if you are with your family or friends and it goes in that direction, just an invitation on my end is you could say something like, I'm sensing that there is something really beautiful around the corner. I can just feel it in my heart. I'm just sensing that, this is going to happen. And then you need to be aware of what it is, how this longing um, expresses itself in your beingness. And then see what happens when you say that. And you can say something like, would anybody else like to, maybe change the subject a little bit, and maybe we can start talking about what we can do to create a better world. What you sense is maybe underneath all this chaos out there. Do you sense that there is a new earth coming in? So if we can change the subject a little bit to something that is more expansive and satisfying, that might help people shift out of that. And they might even find a little tool in their daily life that they can go there. I'm having a little event, actually not till January 1st, where I have invited a bunch of my women friends, my wise women friends, and we are going to do a circle. And we're going to tune into what we are sensing in here. So when we do it together in a circle, and then we're going to speak that. So it's going to be spoken from the depth of the expression of the experience. And then that I feel we are bringing it in a much more conscious way when there's more of us gathered. You may have heard if one or more is gathered in my name, there I am, right? There is I am, your divine essence, your divine presence. So when we speak that, we're bringing it in. And if we keep speaking about the negativity and the darkness, well, we are bringing that into our own experience, of course. We do create that from our expression. So, with that, I want to wish you all a wonderful holiday. I may pop in again tomorrow, but just for now, and maybe just think about if there is anything. If you're maybe a little nervous about being with your family and because they may see things differently than you or whatever, or maybe they see it the same way and you have a tendency to go into the darkness and talk about it. Just take a pause right now, pause before you go there, and just ask yourself, do I really want to put my energy into that? Or do I want to start tuning in to this newness that I'm sensing, but I'm not sure what to do with it yet? And maybe that could be a conversation where people see, yeah, there's something going on here that's like, something is not right, or something, or I can feel something else rising out of this. That might be a really sweet conversation to have. So if that resonates with you, it's all yours. And I wish you a beautiful rest of the day until we meet again soon.